Do not use this strategy ever as a beginner day trader, or really any experience level as a day trader. And I realize that this seems to make sense on the surface, but let's just consider a few things before you go and start to use this strategy, use this logic to justify, and because that's really what it is. It's a justification mechanism for avoiding doing other things that you should be doing as a trader. And on that note, trader, swing trading, day trading, not investor, not investment, not investing. Investing, buy and hold for the next 10, 20, 30, 40 years. There's nothing wrong with that. I do it myself, but there's a big difference between trading and investing. In this video, I'm referring to a trading strategy, a trading logic that is just very dangerous. Now, this whole video came from a comment I got, or the idea for this video came from a comment I got. And I'm not trying to pick on this person. Hopefully this person watches. Hopefully this person can at least consider where I'm coming from. And they can maybe, I don't know, just like I said, consider it. But they made the comment and it reveals a whole lot, which again, on the very surface, okay, yeah, that makes sense. But there's more that goes into it. So let me get to this comment. Milton says, I feel good about my 500 shares of NIO that I bought at 57. If it falls more, I'll buy more. NIO is not going anywhere. So this is pretty much the logic right now, right? A company is, a company, and they're not going anywhere, right? They're not going anywhere. Now the question is, what is not going anywhere? The company, and this is huge. This is a massive, massive difference between the logic and then trading. So I agree. Most companies, once you get publicly traded, now I realize there's the exception to every rule, but like I said, if you're looking at a company and you really believe in that company and you're like, that's a good company, that company is not going anywhere, okay, fine. In fact, for the sake of this argument, I'll agree that, and in this situation, the company happens to be NIO. Not that this really matters, but in this particular situation. So let's just say, and I'm not trying to open up a debate about NIO and whether or not they're not going anywhere, but let's just assume that yeah, they're not going anywhere. Here's the problem with that. There is a massive difference between company and then the company's stock. Meaning that, yeah, just because the company's stock is not going in, or because the company itself is not going anywhere, when it comes to their stock, it can go through some brutal, brutal times. The one I'm thinking off the top, in fact, I don't know, let me know down below if you can think of some companies that, yeah, they haven't gone anywhere, but their stock has been destroyed. The one for me would have to be GE. Who hasn't heard of GE? And that is a company that's truly not going anywhere. Now they could get bought out. Something could happen. Somebody could, come in and get all new management. But the company of GE, they're not going to go anywhere. They've been around forever. And it's GE, right? That's one of those companies. But what has happened to their stock? Well, I'd encourage you, pull up their chart, ticker symbol GE, and look at the past several years. Their stock has gotten destroyed. And if you were to use this logic of, hey, you know what? Because a company is not going anywhere, I'm just going to keep on buying more. People in GE could have gotten destroyed from a trading perspective. Now, if you are an investor and you just buy a little GE every single month, no matter what it's doing, again, that's why I preface this saying that that's a different topic. But to justify buying more of something that's dropping and dropping and dropping because, well, the company's not going anywhere, that's just not going to be viable. That's going to put you in situations where, again, if you want to be a trader, you need to be out there trading. Not every single day. Not even necessarily every single week. But you do need to be trading. But if you get in one of these GE situations where you're just sitting underwater for literally years, you're not a trader. You're a trader who has turned into an investor. And that's kind of the cliche almost, thing that you kind of just laugh about yourself, because I think we've all been there where you buy something, you start off as a trader and I'm losing money. Okay, well now I'm an investor on this thing. We've all been there, but that's not trading. That's just something that is not going to get you to where you want to be, assuming you want to actually be trading. And that is why, to circle back to the beginning, this is all just a justification mechanism. What is it justifying? It's justifying a way for you to rationalize in your mind, I was wrong. From a trading perspective, I was wrong. And because I'm wrong, I need to get out. And it's gonna cost me money. I'm gonna lose money on this trade. But hey, that is okay. Welcome to the world of trading. If you're not losing money as a trader, you're doing something wrong. One of those things that you're doing wrong is using this logic. Well, I'm just gonna keep buying more. Oh, it's dropping more. Hey, I'm just gonna keep buying more. This company's not going anywhere. I'm just gonna keep buying more. Yeah, that's why you haven't technically lost any money, because you're just behaving badly. You're using this sort of logic that'll eventually get you burned in the market, or just flat out turn you not into a trader, because you're just sitting there holding when you originally started off thinking, I'm gonna be a trader. I'm gonna be a day trader. I'm gonna be a swing trader. And now all of a sudden, I haven't made a trade for like 4 months because I'm still waiting. Yeah, that's got amateur hour written all over it. So again, it is okay to take a loss. Losses are part of the business. They're a cost of doing business as a trader. But this is something that you get used way too often by beginner traders is, and they're not going to say it that way. Well, I don't want to take a loss. I don't want to admit that I'm wrong. I mean, it's a good company. So, all right, I'm just going to buy more. And then all of a sudden, the risk management goes out the window, if they're even thinking about risk management. And then bad habits are, they start to be built. And that's why you just want to avoid this sort of mentality. You want to avoid this sort of strategy because it sets up a false premise that really at the core, taking losses is bad. Being wrong is bad. No, if that is your definition of bad, then you should not be a trader, because you will always be wrong at times to time as a trader. There's no such thing as a perfect trader. So being wrong is okay. But be very, very aware, be very, very careful of using this to kind of cover up the fact that, okay, I don't want to admit that I'm wrong. So the company's not going anywhere. So and because of that, I'll just keep on buying more. Companies and stock, two very, very different things. You can have a company around for decades upon decades upon decades, and during that time, their stock can be going down. Let me add in this one, if you've ever experienced this, their stock could be doing reverse splits. If you have not learned about reverse splits, go learn about that. I have a video on YouTube. They're nasty, nasty things. So you can have a company. Hey, we're still around. But sometimes those poor shareholders, the only reason that the company is still around is because they're just constantly putting their shareholders through the meat grinder. So, there's a disconnect there that needs to be realized, and that's what makes this all very, very dangerous, very, very bad logic. So again, just to repeat myself, it's okay to be wrong. It's okay to take losses as a trader. There's nothing wrong with that at all. And just don't allow this stuff to start to blend your trading habits, your trading strategies, and then turn you into some sort of, started off as a trader, now I'm a bag holder. But I'm not going to call myself a bag holder. I'll call myself an investor. It's like, okay, well, you're not going to be around very long doing that. So hopefully you found this video helpful. And as always, if you have questions or comments or suggestions for other videos, please leave those in the comment section below. As you can see here, now Milton didn't exactly ask for the video here, but he did, by leaving a comment, he still gave me the idea. So hopefully Milton saw this and can kind of maybe just consider. All I'm asking, Milton, is consider what I have to say. I'm not saying you have to just blindly believe me, but consider what I'm talking about, and pull up the GE chart. And maybe I can persuade you to maybe restructure the way your approach to the markets is right now. But thank you for watching, everybody. And if you enjoy the video, hit the like button, leave a comment down below. Check out the channel as a whole. Lots of different videos on there. So hopefully you decide to hit that subscribe button. First off, thanks so much for watching the entire video. Real quick, before you go, I want to invite you to a live webinar, web class, training, workshop, online event, whatever you want to call it, but it will be me live revealing to you what I've discovered that has allowed me to transform myself from being an employee to being my own boss, including how I had only one losing day out of 73 days in total. I'm going to cover 3 keys that have helped me unlock profitable consistency within the markets. The first key is super weird, but in a productive type of way. The second key is super awesome because it quite literally is wired into our DNA as humans, making it very easy to use, but in a cruel way This becomes a pitfall for many traders. I'll explain it all though, including how to avoid the pitfall that it creates for some. And yeah, the third key, when you hear it, sounds way too good to be true, but it's not, and I'll show you how it all works. Then at the end, I open it up for a question and answer session that is, again, totally live. Even if you can't make the live session, please still sign up as it will be recorded, and you can go back and watch the replay that I will send you. Click the image on the screen or click the link down in the description box so you can get the date and time and claim your spot, which I should note is limited due to the fact that this truly is a live event. If you have any questions, let me know. If not, I'll be seeing you soon.